VSAC team, go ahead and take it away.
All right, thank you, Bob. Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Sean Power, and I'm here with my teammates Mila Carranza.
Hi, I'm Mila.
And Gabe Sakara Baker.
Hello, world.
Together, we were given an opportunity by the Vermont Student Assistance Corporation to solve a problem that they've had for a while now. For those of you who don't already know, VSAC is a nonprofit that assists Vermonters in all of their education needs, from finding schools or programs that fit individuals' interests to help with funding for college or training programs through grants and loans. VSAC is an essential resource for a large number of Vermonters looking to further their education. VSAC is a wealth of information for degree-seeking students, but when it comes to certificate and training programs, there is a lack of centralized information about what is available to Vermonters. This has posed a challenge for VSAC counselors who seek to be able to help Vermonters who wish to learn a trade or new skill that can help them further their career, but aren't looking for a traditional 2- or 4-year college experience. This is where our team came in. VSAC proposed the creation of a centralized database for certificate and training programs available to Vermonters within the state and potentially beyond with the rise of online learning. Program providers would come from far and wide to upload information about the programs that they offer, and potential students and VSAC counselors would have a single access point for all certificate and training programs available to them. After 3 solid weeks of coding, we are ready to unveil our solution. But first, Mila will walk you through the 3 major components of our app. Take it away.
Thank you. Yeah, so as Sean mentioned, I'm going to give you a quick overview of the main components and roles we have created for this app. We used Firebase authentication to authenticate users when they sign in or sign up, and Firebase database to create and store a different set of rules and rights for these users, depending on which portal they'll be interacting with. We have created 2 roles. Users, they have read and write access to their own data entries, and admin, they have read and write access to all data entries. As we can see, the app has 3 main components. Number 1, the home page. There is no need to authenticate users here, and anyone who is looking for educational programs has access to the data. Number 2, the VSAC portal. Only authorized admins have access to this page. And number 3, the institution portal. Only authorized users have access to this page. And now Sean will go over the home page in more detail.
So this is the landing page for our app. We decided to build our app on the MERN stack, which is what we've learned in the bootcamp these past 3 months. And that stands for MongoDB for our database, Express for our server, our front end was built in React, and our back end was built with Node. These are the 4 pillars of a full stack framework. And as Mila mentioned, we employed the use of Google's Firebase for authentication. So this is the home portal. You can see the table here lists all the current programs that are in our database, along with full sorting and searching, which you can further limit by using multiple categories. And if you're looking for more information on a particular program, you need only click on that program, and a page is dynamically populated with information about that program from our server. Including links to further reading for any particular program through that program's website. Here we have the Advanced Welding Institute. But I will navigate back to home and pass it back to Mila to walk you through our other 2 portals.
So when we navigate to the institution portal, we are prompted to sign in as a provider or to create a new account if we don't have one yet. Sean is going to create for us a new account. He's going to sign out and then sign in again to show us how these features work. So here on the sign up, we need to add a name, last name, organization, email, and create a password. Anyone that signs up on the provider portal, it's assigned the role of user, and they get a customized welcome message. And to make it easier to upload data, we have included, To make it easier to upload data, we have included a downloadable template with pre-filled headers that can be filled and uploaded into our database. This data will be available for the period of 1 year from the moment it was uploaded or last updated. And now Sean is going to demonstrate how these features work.
So we made use of a third-party component called Flatfile to handle our CSV uploading. This allows you to manually input program data through the fields here on the sheet if you only have a few to upload, or you can use the CSV template, which we've provided on the previous screen. For today's purposes, we prepared a CSV file that's populated with VCA's upcoming programs, which we'll walk you through here. We'll take the VCA data, and here it'll bring you to header mapping. This will allow you to match the headers that are on the incoming CSV file to what our database is expecting so that the fields populate the correct area of the database. Once you've confirmed all the headers, you can move to data review. And we were able to do some data validation on the front end so that fields that are expecting a certain type of data will not allow you to continue if that data type is not matching what's expected. So here we're expecting a cost, and that takes a dollar figure, and if you put any other type of data in there, it will show up red, prompting you to fix that cell. But here we can see that all fields are passing data validation, so we will continue on to the submission. And as Mila said earlier, when documents are inserted into our database, in this case our programs, a time to live index is attached to them that causes them to expire from the database automatically after the period of 1 year, or whenever, 1 year from whenever the last update of that program is, or 1 year from the moment the upload happens. And we navigate to home here, and we can see that Burlington Code Academy's programs are now showing up in our database. And take it back, Mila.
Thank you. So as Sean mentioned, each user can only view and manipulate the data they have uploaded. Initially, this data is not visible on the homepage until an admin reviews and approves this data on the VSAC portal. But for the purpose of this presentation, we're making all data visible without approval. And just like on the homepage, users can sort columns and can search and filter using specific keywords. Users can also delete a row, and the whole row goes away and it's removed from our Mongo database. They can update individual fields by clicking on the update button, and we are prompted to this form where all the fields are pre-filled with the current data, and it's easy to edit each field individually, and these changes are updated to our Mongo database as well. One of our biggest challenges was to only display the data that each user had uploaded, instead of displaying every record in our Mongo database. In other words, we needed to find a way to authenticate credentials in the front end using Firebase authentication, send the data to the back end to our Mongo database, and bring it back to the front end, and finally display the data on this table for the user to manipulate. We were able to achieve it by bundling the Firebase authentication ID with the CSV data upload, and then we used this ID as a unique identifier throughout the whole process. We used the same principle for the delete and update features. We needed to make sure we were updating and deleting the right rows. So instead of using the user ID this time, since all the records were uploaded by the same user and had the same user ID, we used the entry ID as a unique identifier. And if we navigate to the VSAC portal, we are prompted to sign in. Only admins can sign in on this portal. We don't have a sign up feature here. Our currently admin roles can only be assigned directly on Firebase. And here's where we can see the main difference between the user and the admin roles. Users can only see their own data, but admins can view and manipulate all data on the database. On this portal, an admin reviews all data that has been uploaded and has the ability to approve data by changing the viewable status from false to true, which makes the data available on the homepage. And just like on the other portals, admins can sort columns and search and filter using specific keywords. They can delete a row and remove the entry from the database, and they can update individual fields by clicking the update feature, just like on the institution portal. Admins are also able to export all data available if they wish to work with this data offline, or if they would like to share this as a file with colleagues and students. And Sean is gonna show us how this feature works.
So you click the export data button and that prompts a function to run in the background that will download all information from the database and populate a CSV file with all the information so that VSAC counselors can have access to this data if they're traveling to an area with low internet connectivity or none at all, which is the case in a lot of areas of Vermont, unfortunately. This was one of the requested features that they gave to us, and we managed to accommodate. Share.
Thank you, Sean. And now Gabe is going to take it from here.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here. This project was a lot of fun to work on and contribute to. It was great working with VSAC because they helped out myself and a lot of my colleagues here. So for the user interface design, we had several resources available to us, one of which was provided from VSAC directly, the official VSAC style sheet, which gave specific instructions for how to kind of lay out the elements and how to align with VSAC's brand image, including specific hex codes for the colors you see on the site, such as the signature lime green, the maroon color, and the dark blue that we use and they use. Another thing we decided to use as a reference was the website vsac.org. And as you can see, many of the components and style elements on our site are directly influenced from things on this page, including the shadow effects on the header and footer, which are done with CSS before and after effects, the diagonally striped kind of background image layout, styling of buttons, hover effects, and transition times were also kind of pulled from this page. So that was a very good resource. Everything was created in React JSX, and we added class names and ID tags to our elements to give to our CSS selectors. We also decided to implement a footer, taking a page from the VSAC website, which would render a different image every time the page loads. So we're using a JavaScript function here to generate a random number between 1 and 7. And that will trigger a different image to render. So you're not have to look at the same thing every time. So I thought that was kind of a cool, neat feature. And then at the last minute, we also decided to make it responsive so that it's friendly to mobile devices and things with smaller screen width. And to do that, we use media queries in our CSS, which conditionally render things like this hamburger menu button, which when pressed has this little animation there that brings down a drop-down menu with all the same links as the nav bar. And also the footer switches to a mobile view. So this was a lot of fun to work on.
In conclusion, I'll wrap it up here. Just want to say that this course has taught us so much and challenged us in so many ways. Most of us have come into this web development program with near zero coding experience, and in 3 short months, which has felt like 3 weeks, we've managed to turn ourselves into developers. This capstone project is the culmination of all that hard work. And we'd like to thank our fearless leader, Bob Staus, and his teaching assistants, Devin Smith, and particularly, and I cannot stress this enough, Paul Phelps, who put in countless hours helping us research problems and helping us work through bugs that we encountered, and for all the help, patience, and encouragement that they've given us along the way. And an extra special shout out to Josh Downs, who, though he has a full-time developer job and isn't employed by VCA, generously donated his free time every week to hold study groups and one-on-one sessions to help solidify concepts that we learned during lectures and work through problems that we encountered in our code along the way. So to all of you, thank you. I'm incredibly proud of all that we've accomplished here so far, and we could not have done it without you. Thank you.